Hello and welcome back to Esin the Magazines Guy. This is the second ever video on the series, and okay, I have to admit there was like a previous recording attempt. It was like almost 2 hours, but I didn't look very good. I looked very messy. The camera work was like really imperfect, and overall it was just a mess. So I decided to re-record it. Hopefully it will be worth it. So today is I think it's the 17th of October. Hold on, I have a calendar over in the no, the 17th was Friday. It's the 19th. It's the 19th of October 2025, and October was like pretty calm this month in terms of magazines. There's like 3 magazines released in October 2025. There is actually one more, but it officially is like a November 2025 issue. They just released it early in like mid-October for some reason. I don't really know why they would do that, but whatever. And besides these 3 issues, we got like some more stuff to talk about, and I hope you will like it. Well, about October issues of magazines, I will be starting with Kafkaokur first. Yeah, they released a new issue this month. It has Sigmund Freud over on the cover. Well, I heard that Sigmund Freud is no longer like respected in the field of psychology, but he still is liked in literature, so it kind of makes sense why he will be on the cover of a literary magazine. Fitting the cover person, there's a lot of articles related to psychology in the film review section. It's 6 psychological films, and they got like the usual stories and such. And the interview, they got Merve Başıbüyük, apparently. This is her, and she's a clinical psychologist. Makes sense. Lovely. There is like an Freudian analysis of media. I don't know what it really is. Let me see. It's an ancient Greek tragedy. Okay. Yeah, the usual cover stories, Freud and things about Freud, like a short biography of him and such. It's pretty lovely. One thing I noticed is, in Ihsan Can'ın the guy who always draws a comic in Kafkaokur in the black. This month he has been going in a style change recently. You see, like when I first saw it, it felt like because he it's like his panels are like pretty much always symmetrical. But in this issue, you can see that there's like a mismatch, an asymmetry in how the panels are divided. There's also different rendering, lighting, shading styles. He usually does some like simple shading, but now I just noticed like there's more airbrushing with like overlay, or like more like airbrush and more shading. I think it's an improvement. In the back, like my frustration would be that in the back cover they have Ayn Rand, out of all people. I cannot really judge since I haven't actually read her work, but I heard like she isn't really a great author. She's mostly wrong about things, but I heard that there is a book, if I remember correctly, it was about censorship, in which that she makes actually great points So I guess, yeah, okay. Stuff. La la la la la. One odd thing is that these two pages, I have never seen such pages in Kafkaokur before. Not sure why they added it. Maybe it's like a new thing they're planning to do. Well, I don't know. There is Bilim and Teknik, October 2025. They pretty much release like every month. Well, this month's cover is Education in the Age of AI. If you watch the previous video, probably remember me saying that there is, what do you call it? A detour. Not detour. Detour means like you are going to a place and you just like go on a tangent. You stop by a different place and like spend a lot of time there and then go back to the road to go to like the original place you're supposed to go again. So maybe diverge, but diverging isn't like doesn't really fit. Deterred, maybe deterred will be a suitable word. They've been deterring from AI. They don't allow AI generated content in Bilim Genç. They stopped AI generating their colors and went back to like stock images and such. This one is a stock image. For example, it says in this little text, you cannot see it over here. I actually really welcome this change, as I said before. They got interesting stuff this month. I mean, the cover story. The cover story, I expected someone like Gürkan Caner to write it, but the author of it is it's like someone named Yeşim İmamoğlu, and apparently they are in Boğaziçi University in the Faculty of Education, in the mathematics and science teaching department. So this is an educator's perspective, not an engineer's perspective, which actually like makes sense. There has been like an overrepresentation of engineers and developers in topics like this, and I think it's important to let the people affected, educators or workers, such that to express their views and have it heard. So that's really good. A lot of people have said that Bilim ve Teknik has dropped in quality. To be honest, yeah, they are like due to like censorship and such, they're not allowed to talk about things like evolution. But like despite these pressures, they're still going pretty strong, I think. Some of you are probably just blinded by nostalgia. If Bilim ve Teknik is like still really good under like pressure and censorship, imagine how it will be if there wasn't like any pressure and such. I really like to see those days, And big news for Flappa fans. In the Doğa Fauna section, there is like the Karakal, aka Flappa. So yeah, to be honest, Flappa, if you don't know what Flappa is, from what I know, it's basically like a Karakal, and people on the internet has named that Flappa, and people are calling Karakals Flappas now. Okay, so Karakals, they have appeared in Bilim ve Teknik quite a lot in posters, in covers and such. I love Flappa. I'm pretty sure there are like bigger fans of Flappa, so I can't really say that I'm the biggest fan, but I like Flappa. There is also an article claiming that cats slowly blink at you like this. If a cat does this to you and you repeat this blinking back to them, they trust you more or something like that. It's a way of communication. That's interesting. Also, there is an article about the space race. Really cool. If you are like a fan of like the space race, you can go by this issue. Like they have a whole timeline. They have a let me show you from the beginning. They got a whole timeline. It's like including the cover, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 pages. 14 pages about the space race timeline. If you're into that type of stuff, go buy this. Yep. Okay, so a quick detour before going into our third magazine. Well, Antalya Book Fair was early this month. I went there how many weeks ago? Hold on. I went there last week. With my mom. We couldn't visit much stands because my mom she got sick, sort of due to dehydration and such. So she wanted to leave early, and we did. But I could visit TÜBİTAK stand, and I got these 2 books from TÜBİTAK stand, and I flexed to of the table attendants. Like, I have every issue of Bilim ve Teknik since December 2022, and in fact I have the May 1998 issue as well. Yes, I do have the May 1998 issue. And she was like, oh, very cool. Should I show you all the May 1998 issue of Bilim ve Teknik? Maybe later. Let me put it right here. Okay. Yeah. Then we later on went to visit Komik Şeyler stand, and from there I grabbed issue number 5 of Çok. Çok can be bought online, but you can also find it at Komik Şeyler stand in book fairs. I also wanted to buy every single issue of Naber, especially like the first 3 issues since they went out of print. I saw issue number 2 on the table. I asked the attendant about issue number 1 as well, but they couldn't find that. They were like, we probably left it in the car. Let me go get them for you. I was like, oh no, it's okay. Çok. Issue number 5. Believe it or not, this actually first debuted in Kadıköy Çizgi Fest. It was sort of a promotion thing before putting it online. They started selling this on Kadıköy Çizgi Fest, and you could, at the time, you could get it only from there, and they later put it online. I got this from the book fair, as I said before, Antalya Book Fair. And this month, the cover is drawn by Lemsi Çağlar Büyükoğlu. Well, I'm not a huge fan of this style, but it looks lovely. What else? The usual names. The usual name it's the. Yep. There isn't anyone new. There's Kubilay Odabaş, there's Mert Dolapçıoğlu, blah blah blah. All of these people. There is underground hip hop günlükleri by, what's their name? I cannot usually find the author's name. What is it? Seriously, what is it? What was their name? I keep forgetting. Should I turn on the lights? much better. Maybe it's in like, maybe we can find it in issue number 3 or 4. I'll check real quick. Ah, there we go. Ege Avcı. We found his full name. Ege Avcı. I love this underground hip hop series he has on Choke. Love this guy. You should get your hands on this magazine and read it too. I love it. Well, but he had like a style change. The comic was like whole black and white, but now he switched to this blue instead of black. It's still monochrome, but it's blue instead of black. It looks lovelier, I think. Yep. What else? You know, İdil Kaysan of Çok Küçük Şeyler. I follow them on Instagram. Yeah. I love their work. And also kendime düşünceler. They have like 2 pages. And in fact 3 pages. They're famous. Or was it like she, her? She's famous. Yep. Ali Beyefendi, blah blah blah, I be me. All that stuff. Oh. Orhan Umut Gökçe's Introvert. Hell yeah, I love that one too. Burka Bayram. I haven't heard of them. Maybe they're like new, but if they were new, it would say so on the editorial note. Maybe I just didn't notice them before. Well, it's an interesting comic about AI. Well, it starts with some person criticizing someone using AI because it uses so much water. And then, you know, the other guy was like, well, I gave them the water. They work 24/7 for us. They deserve some water. And then in 2042, nuclear war happens and ruins the entire planet. And the Earth becomes inhabitable, and humanity is on the brink of, you know, what is that word? Not existence. What is it? Extinction. And AI wakes up, and to save the planet, it destroys, annihilates a small group of rich people, and humans end up siding with said rich people. So the AI ends up destroying all the humans except one, and that one is the person who say that AI deserves that water. Well, that's one way to think about it, but I have heard that humanizing AI is actually not as good as people think it is. It allows people to use AI for things like surveillance and such. If you treat it like a person, you essentially lift it up like its responsibility, and it's like used in things like mass surveillance and other harms. And in this case, it will be like water usage. It's like trying to excuse. But I do like the part in which the AI destroys rich people. So I got mixed feelings about this comic. To be honest, I can't wait what else Burka Bayram has to make. Yep, like this guy. Not this comic, but this one. You know, the work overall, I mean, it's pretty good. Now there is Belalı fanzine. is also here. That if you're wondering what Belalım is, there are scene, but the scene writer and artist cast also has like 2 pages, usually on the very middle of chalk. But this in this issue, it's for some reason it's 1 page, and it's in like the magazine, including the front and back cover, is 40 pages. There on page 38. They usually be on like the very middle, but in the very middle there is irrigation for some reason. Maybe they were busy with like conventions and fairs, they couldn't draw much stuff, or maybe they got sick. I hope it's not something very serious. Yep. That's all for like October's magazines. Only Kafkaokur out of these 3 gave gifts, and they have the classic poster and bookmarks. For the poster, on the front face, it's the cover as a poster, Sigmund Freud, and on the other side there is Anna Karenina, a Tolstoy novel character. Really cool. And for bookmarks, there is Salvador Dali and Slavoj Žižek. They're really cool. Rolling. Now, time to talk about the other stuff. Now, which one should I start with? Guys, I will start with the shorter thing first. Well, I got 2 more issues of #tarih. This one right here is issue number 94. I got it alongside with some 2 issues of Volt that were missing from my collection. It's about the Turkish, Arab, diplomatic, cultural, etc. relationship. Some parts made me raise a brow, but it was decent, I guess. Since it's issue number 94, during the Kafa media group era, you see #tarih has switched ownership quite a lot actually. Well, first they had a different owner, then it switched to Kafa media group, and then around in the beginning of 2023 they switched to Karsal Publishing. This one is from the Kafa media group era, and if you don't know, I have beef with Kafa. Not actually I have problems with Kafa. I don't like Kafa. I don't like Kafa Media Group's owner, Candaş Tolgaşık. I don't like the fact that their company thingies, pastorçelerin are İlber Ortaylı and Celal Şengör. I don't like the fact that many of relevant authors of relevant authors of the magazine are xenophobic and such. I guess that's the summary of it, and I especially hate their hypocrisy. In issue number 94, other than the cover story, they got the usual stuff. There is Hafızay Beşer, Barış Uygur. I low-key like this guy's work, and what most upsets me about the 2025 rebrand reformat thingy of #tarih was that Barış Uygur was no longer writing for it. This one, in this issue right here, he wrote about the Library of Alexandria. It's about the Library of Alexandria told in a humorous way, and By the way, this is like the September 2022 issue for those wondering about the date. This was surprisingly tame, considering that this is from the Kafa Media Group era and it's about like Turk-Arab relations. Yeah. By the way, I will buy issue number 95 soon. If I buy issue number 95, I will have every issue of hashtag tarih from issue number 94 to, hold up, let me check. I keep forgetting. Issue 104, I think, until issue 104. Yeah, it's issue 104. Number 94 to 104. Yeah. And what else? Right now I have like every issue until 96 to 104 plus 114 and one issue, I don't remember the number of, let me check for that one again. It's 118 and I have 124 and I obviously have these ones now, 94 and 29. Yeah. Okay, so 94. Let's put that aside and let's look at this one. By the way, alongside issue 95, I am planning to buy the January, February and March 2025 issues as well, because you know the 2025 Kafa, not Kafa, in the 2025 hashtag tarih reformat, I have like one issue from it and it's April 2025 and it's like the last ever issue released before the magazine went on hiatus. And I would like to get those other 3 issues from like the 2025 era as well and compare and contrast from like the previous structure. Now about issue number 29, October 2016. Now this is actually from the early Kafa Media Group era. As I said before, the magazine was owned by another entity before switching to Kafa Media Group. Some interesting things about this thing is that on the back there's like a Kafa advertisement. Well, in like issue number 94, on like the inside back cover, there's like an advertisement for Kafa TV. Back cover is like straight up a Kafa magazine advertisement. The inside cover is nothing, it's just Istanbul Modern. In the inside front cover, there is an ad for football. Considering that this was published in 2016, if I remember correctly, Football was also a Kafa Media Group magazine dedicated to football, soccer football, not rugby football. They later stopped publishing it, I guess. I have no idea how long it ran for, but yeah, it was like football magazine, soccer football magazine, soccer magazine, you know, association football. That's its like formal name, association football. This one is about coup d'etats and such things. You know, interesting stuff. And you know, I mostly bought this issue because of one of like, there is an article about hackers and there is an article about Divri Alanlı, which is in like Sivas, and I love Sivas. One thing I noticed about this magazine is that there is so much advertisements for Ilber Ortaylı books. Like, holy fucking shit, chill man. Oh god. Let me show you. Okay, starting with İlber Ortaylı Blue Cat, number 1. İlber Ortaylı Blue Cat, number 2. Please tell me there is like only 2. Please, please, please. Oh, fuck. It is not the... İlber Ortaylı Blue Cat, number 3. Okay, so there are a whole 3 İlber Ortaylı Blue Cats in this fucking thing. God forgive us all. And by the way, I found another Barış Uygur thing. Hafızay Beşer. It's about education, from what I understood. Didn't know he wrote for the magazine for like that long. No. What else? Okay, so this is like a tangent. This was a tangent from like from the Diri Alana Evi and hackers thing. Okay, so pages 72 and 80. What is going to concern us? Here's 72. Okay, here it is. Divri Alana Evi. So I'm Sivaslı and Divri is a district of Sivas. But you know, despite I'm Sivaslı, I'm not Divri'li. I'm from another district by memleket. Well, to be honest, I was like born and raised in Sivas. I only like visited it maybe once, maybe twice, you know. But I like Sivas. I think it's lovely, and one cool thing is that it's pretty much a railway town. My father had said that the train car factory used to be there, but they moved it to another city. But I researched it later, and apparently there's like a freight train car factory in Sivas that is still running. So and like aside that, many railway lines pass from there, like the maybe because the train car factory was there, they had to like had many lines pass through it, trains. And in number 80, you know, hackers, aka the main, like one of the 2 main reasons I bought this. Yeah, I mean, there's a part about World War II cryptography. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, aside from like the Kafa media group insanity, fucking İlber Ortaylı. Okay, the real insanity. So I have the May 1998 issue of Bilim ve Teknik. So okay, first I will answer the questions. Why do you have the May 1998 issue of Bilim ve Teknik? Well, mostly because of, let me show you this article titled Bilgisayar Biçim ve Turing. Yeah, you guys probably know that I pretty much have a Turing obsession, and not just that, but you know, he has been mentioned in Bilim ve Teknik after this one. Like there's a whole 4-page article about him in September 2012 issue, and last time he was mentioned as in like there was like a paragraph about him was that was like July 2025, like July this year, in an article about the Turing Award. But what makes this so special is that this article explicitly talks about his homosexuality, which, as I implied before, it's like a difficult. Talking about such thing in modern technique will be very difficult. Um, i- um, if and I would argue that it will be as difficult as talking about evolution. It was important to have this magazine and especially this article in print, because since there's an explicit talk about his homosexuality, it's like prime target to be erased from the internet. I know Bilim ve Teknik has like an archive in which, except the foremost recent issues, you can like view everything for free. But this might get erased. The whole site might be taken down, and unless some physical catastrophe happens, which is less likely than an online catastrophe happening, you will still have access to this article. Yeah, that's like the premise of it. Now, here was I. Number two, okay, but like it's very old. Like why have this? This was actually a question, like a concern from like my father. The thing is, from a science history point of view, it's important to have first-hand documents from the era, so we can like write about it firsthand. Sources are important in history in general. So this one's from May 1998. I can look through. The cover is about computer viruses, malware. I can look through and see that a pen. Malware used to be commonly spread with this thing, and they had this viruses, and they were this way. Old antivirus programs. How was protection, cyber security back then? One could just simply open this issue and see how science was like back then. Aside that, they have like an article about allergies. They have like an article about Istanbul and earthquakes. Now this one is particularly special because they straight up like I think they straight up predict the 1999 Marmara earthquake, because you see in the caption of this image they say that they talk about like, what do you call a fayat? These line thingies where planes like clash and rub each other, etc., and they cause earthquakes. But basically from like the activity there, they straight up like say that the movement of say plane thingies, what the hell is a fire? I probably put English translation of fire on the screen. Where they claim that in the near future, May 1998, by the way, this was published in near future, there will be earthquake of magnitude 7 on the Richter or bigger than that in around the Marmara Sea. And guess what? 15 months later, 1 year and 3 months later, an earthquake of magnitude bigger than 7. Was it 7.3? I don't remember exactly. It hits Istanbul and it wrecks it. That's why it's important. That's why media preservation and archival and collection thingies are important. It's literally like what Barış Uygur like talks about in like issue number 94 of hashtag tarih, which I showed you, the Library of Alexandria article. Like preservation is important. If it wasn't important, the internet archive as such wouldn't be like getting sued or like pressured that much. And they wouldn't have libraries, and there wouldn't be my magazine collection. Okay, so the biggest question, more accurately, the one I am the most excited about answering is, how the hell did you get your hands on the May 1998 issue of Bilim ve Teknik, and what made you seek for this issue? Now, what made me seek? Obviously, it's so that I can have bilgisayar biçimi Turing in print, but also, soon I went to the Akdeniz University library because apparently they had this issue, and I wanted to look at that article in print. Now, if they had this magazine intact, I wouldn't have like sought after it myself. But okay, you see, the first page of bilgisayar biçimi Turing was intact, but the second page 33, and like this like on like 33 to 44, pages 33 to 44, those two inclusive, were all ripped out for some reason, and there's like no side of these pages. It's just the first page of bilgisayar biçimi Turing, and right after there was a Beko, this Beko ad over here, and yeah, I was sad, and I put finding this issue, intact without any pages ripped out. I put that in mind. I set this as my goal, and a while later, in summer, this happened in the Akdeniz University Library. I think happened in January, and in summer, me and my mom went to Kafkaokur, and I learned about using Nadir Kitap. I mentioned it a couple times. It's where Saflar and other second-hand book vendors and such can sell their collection in. Yeah, it's like a second-hand media selling site, but unlike eBay, where like people can sell it, you cannot like sell stuff on Nadir Kitap as a person. You need to be like a whole store collection thingy to actually sell there. Yeah, so I checked Nadir Kitap, and then I looked through all the people that had this issue, and one of them I was planning on like going in person and buying it, okay? And one of them was Noz Kitabevi, which was in Antalya, and it was specifically in the general classroom. The door of the general lecturers building. It was like sort of next to it. So I like called them, and they said that they had this issue. And I called them on morning, and later that day, me and my mom went there, and turns out they sold it before. Like the guy went to like the storage place thingy, and simply couldn't find this issue, and couldn't let me know either, because after looking for that, he got sick and forgot to call me back. That was fucking strange. But no, it's a cool place. Just ask first if you like going to buy something on Nadir Kitap from them, because from what I understood, they often forget to update their catalog on there. But yeah, in store it's pretty cool. Anyway, so I had lost hope, and a couple days later, I saw a list of all the sahaflar you can find. Akasya Fanzine'in, let me show you, Akasya Fanzine, this thingy. And I looked through like the list. There were like 4. One of them was Kafkaokur October, you know, where I learned about using Nadir Kitap. One of them was Octopus Kitap Cafe, not relevant to the story. Third one, I don't remember. Fourth one was thematic stuff, which for reference, it's nearby Güllük. We went to thematic stuff, you know, me and my mom, and you know, I grabbed this, some 3 books, and you see, thematic stuff, from what I know, they straight up don't have like a storage room. Everything is in store, but at the same time it's really unkempt. You can like find anything from anywhere. There are like huge piles of magazines and newspapers around, and despite that, it's really cool, and they even sell video games. It's interesting. So I was looking through like a magazine pile, and in that pile there are issues of Bilim ve Teknik from the 90s and the 2010s. I was low-key hoping that I could find this Bilim ve Teknik issue 366, May 1998, but my hopes were kind of low. Then while I was looking around, I saw something that was peach colored, and I pulled it out, and it was this. And I literally screamed because I was so joyous. And the shopkeeper, she ended up giving this issue for free. Obviously, I bought other stuff like books, but she gave this one for free because I was just so excited. Yep, that's the story behind it. Fucking and it's probably standing in my collection. Yep, that's the story. I got one more thing to show you, I guess. If you noticed, the magazine collection, it looks a little different than how it looked before. Well, I did a little reorganizing with my bookshelf. The problem was that there was like, I was running out of space on the shelf, so the solution I came up with was that, you know, we recently bought some new shoes, and I took the shoe boxes and put like books I have read in them, like, and made this makeshift shelf. And that way I got a little more space. And I also glued this bag to the shelf, and in this bag I keep like magazines, you know, posters and such things, because otherwise I will just end up just like this, putting magazines on top of these magazines pasted on the shelf, and it will cause problems by placing new things. Yeah, by the way, now that I saw it, I remembered Odd has like a new special package. I thought this was like a new special issue, but no, it's just like issues. Let me check. Issues number 930, number 134, 135, and special issue 2025-01 repackaged. So unless at least one of these issues are missing from your collection, or you want to donate to the library, or you want to gift this to your friends, or want this poster of Barış Akarsu, there is no point of buying this, really. down you go. So yeah, these will all be placed back on the shelf, don't worry. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I will just like stop this and go walk with my mom and do my homework, usual university kids stuff. Next time, I think I will be talking about OAT's November 2025 issue plus some other issues of OAT, and I am also planning to buy, I'm planning to buy hashtag tarih, some more issues. I'm planning to buy issue number 95, number 125, number 122, 123. Those three are like January, February, March 2025. And I'm also planning to buy issue number 4. And I will make a video out of it, I guess. And probably more November magazines. Kafasına göre we'll probably release next month, basing on the schedule. I'll probably talk about that. Kafkaokur and Bilim and Teknik pretty much release every month, unless Kafkaokur decides otherwise. But Bilim and Teknik is like guaranteed every month. And some other stuff, maybe like scenes I might have acquired. Oh, I got like one issue of Bilim'e gelecek. Maybe I can talk about that, and maybe I can talk about Popular Science Turkey, because in this month's issue, if you buy this month's issue, they give out the previous issues for free in PDF format, so you can like get the e-archive. I might talk about that magazine as well, and maybe compare to Bilim and Teknik. I don't know. Plenty of ideas overall. So see you all later. I shouldn't make this longer, I guess. Thank you for watching.